What's going on, guys? Tobin here with you. Hope everybody's doing great out there as we got a couple of days off until Game 3 of the NBA Finals. If you guys could subscribe to the Tobin and Leroy show via YouTube on the 560 WQAM YouTube channel. I always put the link in the description there. That'd mean a lot to me. We go live every single weekday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It was a party today. Hope everybody can go back and watch that show. Had a lot of fun with you guys. And looking forward to this series swinging back, man. Like I said, everybody was out here. Jay Williams on ESPN, others out there trying to say that this was going to be an easy breezy series. People were talking sweep or monocles and top hats, and we'll see, dude. The Miami Heat, once again, everybody just seems to revert back to that team that they were in the regular season, yet they're shooting the lights out, have been for 2 months, and continue to just look absolutely fantastic. But the interesting storyline that I wanted to get to today, and I've been wanting to get to this for a couple of days, but it just seems like there's just twists and turns, and I don't really know what to believe up until what we got today, which was actually what seemed to be straight from the horse's mouth, Tyler Herro, and that is the health of Boy Wonder. Where are the Heat at with this? Where it comes to Tyler Herro and his comeback bid for this series, there was a report coming into this, I think it was from Chris Haynes, who said that they were targeting Game 3 as the potential date. Then Woj came out, and he had said that, oh no, the potential return could be for Game 2. And then Spo was kind of, I guess the word is, non-committal with the whole thing, where he's like, I don't know where that report came, but he wouldn't officially rule out Tyler Herro. Then he was listed as out, but all the reporters were like, yeah, but that doesn't mean that he's out, which I think is true, because that was like a Giannis thing, where the Bucks were like, oh, he's out, but then they played some games and then he was back. So, this whole kind of thing has been standing up in the air, and I wasn't really sure where we stood with things. And then this report came out today from Rosgold Onwudi from ESPN Radio. She's doing sidelines for ESPN Radio, and she had reported on Twitter today, reporting from the NBA Finals. I spoke to Tyler Herro ahead of Game 2. In his pregame routine, and he told me that he experiences both soreness and swelling in the right hand after shooting, and he can feel soreness when he's making a follow-through shooting motion. He also shared that he has consideration of not wanting to come back and mess up the rhythm of the team. While there was hope that he returned for Game 2 as participating in all aspects of team practice, he's making sure the time is right for his return to the court. So, not a rule out, but there are definitely some details there of Tyler Herro physically on what he's dealing with, and especially the idea that he is feeling some things on his follow-through, is dealing with some things that are even just non-contact, right? Because I believe the reports were coming out of or going into Game 2 that they were starting to ramp up some of the physicality of what he's dealing with, dealing with contact and trying to see if he could actually situate himself through a game. And now we have this report from Roz where it's like, oh, well, not only is he, not sure about, messing up the rhythm of the team, but also that he's dealing with some soreness. So definitely some interesting stuff. And then there were some other follow-up reports on this from Anthony Chang of the Miami Herald, to where it had said that Tyler Herro, with what he's dealing with, he said, to go with this report, a source told me the expectation that Tyler Herro will return during the NBA Finals is a bit overstated. He has still a few hurdles to clear. He still has a few hurdles to clear, We'll see if he can return before the end of the series. So, yeah, it is an interesting thing to kind of get out there, because it really felt like the momentum was being painted like, oh, no, Tyler Herro is going to come back and it's imminent, right? Like, if you're reading the tea leaves of all this stuff, and who the hell knows, right? Sources. I go more, of course, with what Anthony and Roz are going with, because they seem to actually have a direct in on that. But the national reports before this were like, oh, no, Game 3, that's the target date. And then, no, maybe even Game 2. And Spo's not completely ruling it out, which he had done for Game 1, but wouldn't for Game 2. So, yeah, it was a lot of interesting stuff there that was going for us with this whole thing. But he's been out now for 7 weeks, and it's an injury where I don't know what his cardio is going to be like when he comes back, but that's not something that it completely takes him out of that. He can still keep some conditioning up with him being out, but he's not playing basketball. Has been able to start just doing some stuff now. What are we talking, like week and a half, a couple weeks since he's been really cleared to do some on-court work and get things going in that direction. But it is an interesting aspect of it too. This whole idea that he doesn't want to mess up the rhythm of the team. I get that. You don't want to be looked upon as the thing that is messing things up. And I think Tyler knows that there was a lot of pressure coming onto him in this postseason anyway. But man, this has been such an FU postseason for everybody. I think you could just see all of these Heat players are playing with an edge. And whether it be them telling off the media or Eric Spoelstra having to chew out, Ramona Shelburne to end his press conference, which, by the way, I do want to say, off of that whole thing, I know that Spo ended up, I guess, texting Ramona and apologizing, and people got very upset with Eric Spoelstra, especially the media types. I don't think there was so much her question that set him off. I think Spo has been Spo's an interesting guy to cover in that, like, he doesn't want his time wasted, right? He doesn't want his time wasted, and he doesn't want people acting like they can simplify things to him that are very, very complex. And so he'll pick and choose when he's in the mood to talk about stuff and when he's not. When you've been doing it as long as he has, since as the head coach, 2008, it was one of those things where I think there was a couple of factors of it. One, he's got to do a lot more media, and it's not really the case down in Miami. I think like it's not as much press that they're getting nationally, and I think that he kind of holds like a little bit of ill will to, now you guys want to cover us, so bleep you. And also, he was, you get to a point of a press conference where it's like 15 minutes and you've kind of answered the same question 100 times, then you could see that he was ready to get out of there, like on multiple questions. He goes, okay, he'll pull that move, like he's ready to get up out of the desk. And, these press conferences aren't run by your standard media relations department. They're run by the NBA. So I don't know. I didn't think it was that big a deal. I didn't think that was a big deal. I didn't think Bam getting super angry with the Heat media relations department was a big deal because they were making him do back-to-back interviews because I guess they couldn't hunt down Jimmy Butler. These guys are getting more coverage than ever, but it's an interesting case because there is a little bit of Miami where it's like, hey, okay, now everybody wants all this coverage, but you guys didn't give a rat's ass about us. And, I get it for the fans. We're all like, we've always wanted this national coverage, even though they're still not giving the Heat any credit. A lot of chitter chatter and whining about, these calls that were missed. Boo. To the Heat side of things, they can use that as, blinders of, we've heard you guys writing us off. We've known the lack of care that is. You do the same stories, undrafted culture, playoff Jimmy, and really, like, you're looking at this series so far, and one of the best stories that has been out there has been Bam Adebayo, and the guy was nearly an afterthought coming into this series. Everybody said that, this guy was going to be in over his head, that he was going to drown in this series, and he's done nothing but flourish, which I'm happy to see. And I hope the Heat fans are happy to see that too, and can give some appreciation to Bam for what he's doing. But getting back to my point after that long-winded sidetrack, one of the things that I was hoping for Tyler is Tyler gets that chance too. It's been cool to see Duncan Robinson get his double middle fingers moments. Max Strus is trying to make a whole lot of money. Gabe Vince is trying to make a whole lot of money. Caleb Martin is coming full circle with his near MVP performance in the Eastern Conference Finals. Kevin Love was cast off. Even Kyle Lowry, to the fan base here, to the front office, where they were like maybe considering trading him. Everybody's kind of gotten their moments to shine and show a little bit of FU, And Tyler comes into this year and knows, and he said this when he first got here, he goes, I knew whatever I did in the regular season wouldn't matter, that this was going to be a big postseason for me. So, well, you're 3 wins away from a championship. I know that there are bigger goals, and that's all just like keep things right, don't rock the boat. I really would love if Tyler Herro could get that moment, that moment. Because, look, as bad as this regular season was, or as rocky as this regular season was, a lot of those game winners, a lot of those big moments came from Tyler Herro. Tyler was a guy who was coming through with big shots time and time again in these clutch situations where you needed a big bucket. There was Tyler Herro. And so I would love to see him get that moment. And the thing that I think is a little bit oversold on ruining things is, look, there's 2 guys that are going to do things night in and night out, right? It's Jimmy, it's Bam. Then on every single other night, it's kind of a random, couple of guys standing up. Maybe it's a Kyle night. Maybe it's a Max Strus night. Most nights in this series so far, it's been a Gabe night. Maybe it's a Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin is dealing with some, I guess, with some migraines and chills. I don't know what that'll be like in a couple of days. But I just think that the foundation of this team being built around, you never know who it's going to be. Talk to Goran about this. If you guys didn't see it, Goran Dragic joined us this week, and this is what Gogi had to say about that.
Tyler Herro, it's maybe he's going to be making a return. How tough you think that is, Goran? If Tyler is to kind of come back, hasn't played since game 1 against you guys, like how tough do you think it is to get involved, Tyler, or do you think he could really provide something for this series?
I think you need all hands on deck right now. Doesn't matter. Tyler missed what? He missed how long? 14 games.
Yeah, it's been like
6 weeks.
Yeah, it's almost 6 weeks.
Yeah. So, but Tyler is a baller, man. He got that confidence. The only thing I don't know about his cardio. I think so. They can build him up. I don't know, if he was doing something, but he can score. He can score that ball, and I think so that definitely helped Jimmy. Bam, Gabe, Martin, because last game you can see, Jimmy was not at his best, Martin was not. So they need some scoring, I think so. Bam was good. Of course, Bam has a tough task to do. He needs to get involved with everybody. He needs to score and to defend Jokic. So, you need somebody. You need everybody to step it up. Strus to shoot the ball well, Duncan, Tyler. So, yeah.
And I think flat out, as Gogi said, Tyler's a baller, dude. I mean, the guy's a baller. And I do think that while you could say this is a series, everybody gets so worried about, Tyler Herro is going to get attacked on defense. I think that the Heat have, figured out some things system-wise. I mean, the one thing I guess you could say is like on a communication standpoint, will everybody be there? But you talk about the shot creation, the chemistry that he has with Bam, being able to create some offense, that beautiful jump shot that he has. I think there can be some spots if he's healthy, if he's not dealing with sources, if this is not a hindrance. I'm not so shook on, hey, let's introduce a little Tyler Herro to this series. Now, I do think that winning yesterday buys you time with that. I think that if he's still not right for game 3, all right, you guys know what it's like going in there. Maybe you bring him back for game 4, especially back in this environment, everybody together. They will have a practice on Tuesday, and I imagine he'll go through that, and maybe that'll be a big determining factor on how he feels. So I'd say probably like around, 1 o'clock tomorrow. Maybe we'll have a better idea on if Tyler Herro has made progress, if he'll go out there and provide something for this team. But it is, I was a little bit bummed to see that this today felt more like, man, maybe he's not going to make his way back. Maybe there are some, as Anthony says, there's still some hurdles to deal with when it comes to Tyler's hand. And it felt like the narrative ramping up to this was, no, he's on his way and it's going to be soon and everything is roses. And maybe that's just not quite the case yet, but I'm sure we'll get more on that after the practice and all that. But it would be cool if Tyler Herro still got his postseason moment along the way of the Miami Heat trying to get themselves a title.